It's a brand new podcast.
I'm sorry, I thought we were doing co-pilot, so I'll be back.
That is going to happen at some point where we go to record one and it turns out we record the other. But no, this
we did nearly 3 years without watching different episodes of a TV show, so
it's going to happen now. At some point there will be an episode where we introduce it by saying, we thought we were doing something else today.
And then that's when the new podcast starts, where two people watch different things and try and discuss them like they've watched everything right. Yeah.
So I'm assuming that if you found this co-directors podcast, you know us from the co-pilots podcast, which is the podcast we've been doing for 3 years, where we take two pilot TV shows of a similar theme and compare and contrast them. And now, with co-directors.
If not, really go listen to those, because they're going to be way better.
Hey, no, I'll not have that. They're going to be equally as bad.
Yeah, our production quality is low.
So this is Co-Directors Podcast, which is a podcast that I sort of thought of one day on the drive home from work. And I thought, well, what we do with co-pilots is we take the pilot episodes of TV shows. What if we took directors' debut features and discussed them in a similar fashion? So that's what we're going to do.
But just one director and one film per podcast.
Yeah, one director per episode. We might skate over other films that this director's done, or the director that we're discussing has done, but it will chiefly be about their debut feature. So for the inaugural, which is a tricky word to say, the inaugural Co-Directors Podcast, we will be discussing...
I've never found it difficult to say the word inaugural.
Well, I did in that moment, and that's why I decided it was difficult to say.
I'll allow it.
Thanks very much. We will be discussing Shane Meadows' first film, which is Small Time, from 1996.
I was 6 years old when this film came out.
I was 3.
A baby.
At what point... No, you're a toddler at 3, surely. What point did you stop being a baby?
I don't know, I'm still a baby, so...
When you start paying a damn mortgage, that's when, you little crying bitch.
Oh, well, I'm never going to grow up then. Fuck you, London.
Okay, Shane Meadows. Shane Meadows was born on the 26th of December 1972. And then he made films.
It's a shit birthday, isn't it? 26th of December.
I've just... yeah, anywhere around the Christmas period, it's got to be tricky.
I mean, Christmas would be worse. Because you're there like, oh, it's my day. And everyone's like, no, it's Jesus' day.
I've never met anyone who was born on Christmas Day, thinking about it. I know people who've been born Boxing Day and Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I know Christmas Eve and Boxing Day. I've never met. Maybe their parents just don't tell them. They're just like,
maybe no one's ever been born on the 25th of December other than Jesus.
That's why it's a magical day.
We've already gone off on a tangent.
Well, no, I mean, because realistically it's a shit birthday. I feel like people need to know that it's a shit birthday. I mean, it's probably fine.
Yeah, I'm sure you can still have a very happy birthday. You just have to share all your presents with everyone else.
Specifically with your half-brother Jesus.
So, Shane Meadows.
Brother of Jesus Meadows.
I guess Shane Meadows is known for... there's a phrase that was termed kitchen sink realism, which is like, particularly in Britain, he uses quite a naturalistic and realistic style to make his films, like Ken Loach. And apparently a lot of the stuff he's done is semi-autobiographical. I think that comes across because he the areas he sets his films in, which generally is
the Midlands mostly.
Yeah, it's all the Midlands. I think he just shows that he knows what it's like living up in that thing. And if your strongest writing or creation is, write what you know, I think he proves that actually really works, because he makes really compelling films. I've not seen much of his stuff. I think, in fact, the only other one of his that I've seen is Dead Man's Shoes, and I know you've seen This Is England. You've been trying to get me to watch This Is England for ages.
Well, I mean, it's because I felt that as a film student, you should have seen it.
Do you know how often I get told that? Like,
I imagine you get told it with any number of films.
With any film that's like
good,
any really well-known film. So if I say so, oh, I've not seen Forrest Gump. Call yourself a film student? It's like, well, yeah, but there's stuff I haven't seen.
I think for me it's just because I watched This Is England when I was 16, 17, and I was like, England used to be like this. Like, very sort of like, oh, keep the racists away from me.
I mean, generally, yeah, I
but it was just very different from any sort of British film that I'd seen up until that point. So I was like, I think a lot of people should see it.
I will get around to it at some point, but I actually watched Dead Man's Shoes round yours. I came to stay with you for the weekend, and you forgot you had work on that Saturday. You forgot that you had work, so you went to work, and I was just sat in your house, like, well, guess I'll watch a film.
Oh, that's incredibly bad hosting skills, I think.
Yeah, your sister was a little weirded out, I think, because she was living there at the time as well. And she was like, who's this guy that's just playing on his computer in my living room now?
Well.
And then I beat her at Harry Potter quiz. But yeah, Dead Man's Shoes made me sad. But
I think all of his films have this sort of... They're not happy or sad. They're just stories about people.
Like life.
Yeah, they're just like from... I mean, the two films I've now seen, it's just... Here are some people living their life. And you get sort of this cut-up window of it, and then stuff happens. There's never really like a sort of... Like, here is like a moral quandary. It's just like a... These guys are doing what they do.
Yeah. Yeah, completely. I think that's what you've touched on there is something I thought is he allows his characters to be fallible. Like, they will make mistakes, they will fuck up, they will do horrible shit at points.
Yeah, no, like, that is essentially a very good description of This Is England that you haven't seen. But I think I'm guessing from that a lot of his films are sort of not similar in that way, but like they are definitely just sort of like, well, here are the characters, think of them what you will, and they always, the language they use is always very like, it sounds very natural.
Yeah,
I think
there's a lot of, it's very colloquial.
Yeah, and I think some films struggle with that more than others, I think, to make character interactions seem
believable,
real. Yeah.
But saying that, where there is this, you know, the realism sort of aesthetic to it. Well, I guess in the two films of his that I've seen, which is Dead Man's Shoes and Small Time, there is a sort of a sense of almost a story that could have happened in like a Hollywood film, but done in a very small British sense. So in Dead Man's Shoes, I mean, we should probably say with all of these, we will be discussing these films in, I guess, spoilerific terms.
Yeah, but I'm trying not to spoil This Is England for you.
Oh, thanks very much. But in Dead Man's Shoes, when you realise that, I can't remember, is his brother's name Joe?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen it.
Was he Joe? Anyway, the brother who, you know, once you realise that he killed himself after being goaded by the people who were forcing him to take drugs, you realise that where he's been in the film, he's been in the imagination of his brother, which is, you know, it's like Fight Club, isn't it? Paddy Considine's brother is I can't remember the guy's name. Oh well, never mind. But it's the sort of the imagined character is a trope that's been used in much bigger films, like, you know, Harvey, Donnie Darko, Fight Club, all that sort of thing. And in Small Time, to talk about the end of the film. It's the heist gone wrong.
It's
and
train
the
spotting.
escape
The
from...
end of train spotting, essentially.
Yeah, that's true. I hadn't thought of it like that, actually. It
I
reminded me
thought of it when I was
Baby
watching
Driver.
it. I was watching it and I was sort of like, oh, this kind of reminds me a bit of like Train Spotting meets Angel Share.
Yeah.
But it's more.
Oh, Angel Share's good.
But this is more like, if it makes sense, it's like the scenes in between the actual sort of heist. It's more of the, this is what our lives are like, but also, yeah, we're doing this thing. So it focuses more on the characters and how they interact and they live.
Yeah.
But in the background, they're like, yeah, no, we also do petty crime.
Well, should we move on to talking about Small Time then?
I feel like we did it accidentally.
Oh well, it would have been a slick segue had I not pointed out the fact that we'd slipped into it.
Yeah, we hadn't officially moved on, but it's a new podcast. We're still getting used. We're still new at this.
Yeah, very much so. Talking about on-screen entertainment for snippets of time. Yeah, we're very new at this.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been doing podcasting longer than I've had my current job, so.
Okay, well, Small Time. The name Small Time comes from the beginning of the film. Jumbo, the leader of this gang, he says, "We're not into anything heavy. We rob from the rich and sell it to the poor for half price. We're just small time, as in like small time crooks." And it's about this gang of how old would you say they were? Sort of like early 20s.
I'd say sort of mid to late 20s. I'd say
Mid to late 20s, and a bunch of sort of. Well, you see, the first thing you see is they nip over a wall and start nicking. Is it dog food? Or it's
Yeah,
just
I think
canned
it's dog
food.
food,
but
yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's dog food. So nick all this dog food, and they're trying to find someone to stash it. And
I think my favourite bit of that is where he just goes, "Oh, you know, if you just it's too heavy to throw. Just if you nip over the wall, grab it, nip back over the wall every time." As he's coming back over the wall, just pushes the gate and just like I was just sat there like, idiots. Why did you not check the gate first?
I did laugh a lot watching this film. Not so much like when it got into the sort of domestic abuse stuff, but
I mean, to be fair, that was the bit that really made me laugh.
So you see, Malcolm and Jumbo are sort of the main two that we follow. Jumbo, well, they live next to each other, don't they? They've got the adjoining houses, and they live with their respective partners. So Malcolm, Kate, and Jumbo and Ruby. And Malcolm and Kate can hear whenever Jumbo starts going off on one and having a go at Ruby and getting violent.
Yeah, I guess it's sort. I imagine it's probably a relatively common thing, and like Ruby's also there, just like, oh no, yeah, don't worry, it's fine. Like, I can be a bit of a dick, and I just wind him up. But it's sort of like, she's
really
very
the
quick
point.
to defend, yeah. But
Yeah, but it also leads to an amazing scene when she's complaining to Kate that Jumbo's rubbish in bed, like and they do the little curled pinky sign that means small willy, and then the next thing you see is her in bed using the vibrator, and it is fucking hilarious.
yeah, it was one of those things that I was like, can this make, like, this is just kind of, please, just why? Like, but at the same, I because it keeps cutting back to it, I was just like, every time it gets a little bit funnier. I was just like, because every time I'm sort of like, that vibrator scene's done, and then she's like, no, I'm back.
You start getting the sense from Malcolm that he's not particularly happy with how it's all going. The fact he's just stuck in this town, and they're constantly on the rob and making little bits of money here and there. And it's
Yeah, it
just
was
all...
like, I think it was the dog food thing that sort of gave me that first little sort of like, I don't think he likes this.
Yeah.
When he's
And
sort of like, oh yeah, no, Jumbo has some too, and she just sort of goes, yeah, but I saw you walking around with it, and I know that that's all of it. When are you going to just ditch those cunts? And I was like,
yeah,
she's got a point.
And that's the thing. And then he's chastised by the rest of the gang, saying, "Oh, she's trying to drive a wedge between us." And Jumbo even goes up to it. They go to the car boot, and Jumbo He's like, oh, how long have you been around? You've been here 10 minutes. I've been around helping him out all his life. And you know people like that are just, they're not right for people, but they just can't see it.
Yeah, like it seems more like it's more like a power trip relationship than a friendship.
Yeah, he's clearly bullying him. He clearly bullies Malcolm into doing stuff that he doesn't want to do.
Yeah, although to be fair, the car boot, the rob at the car boot I found very entertaining because it was just like, oh, could I get this for £1.50? As his friends are just walking off with big racks of CDs and records and stuff, and I was like, are you dumb? And then at the end of this, like, I just went to check on the stash in the hedge and it's all been robbed.
It's all gone.
It's just like, who steals from criminals?
Other
Smarter criminals.
Yeah. Criminals who've probably just sat back, watched them do it and gone, we'll go grab that in a minute. And bundled it into a car and driven off.
They keep nipping behind that hedge. Wonder what's... Oh, look.
It's like, they do have Elvis Presley. But then you get the real cringy scene where Kate and Malcolm go round a friend's for dinner, and then they're having like it's quite awkward to start off with, but then they start having quite a nice night and they're drinking wine and chatting and stuff, and they're quite hippyish, these people. And then Jumbo shows up, and as soon as he's at the door, you're like, oh fucking hell, here we go. You know how it's gonna, this isn't gonna end particularly well. And he's really rude, and he's making everything really awkward, and Malcolm's like, Jumbo, will you just fuck up, and tries to get him to leave, and they can't get him to leave, and he starts getting belligerent because he's had a drink, but then it does lead to Martin, the host. He just pinches him behind the ear and knocks him out. I was like, oh yeah, pressure points.
Kate's just like, we should just shave off his eyebrows, and it's like, I mean, yeah, please do that.
Yeah, but then when he comes around, the thing that made me laugh was when he comes round, it's like, oh yeah, John, but you were just on your way out, weren't you? He was like, yeah, I was just going, yeah, thanks very much, see you later.
Do you want your coat?
But then this leads to Jumbo meets up with the rest of the gang in a cafe. Was it a cafe? It was like working. No, it's the cafe, isn't it? And they decide they're going to do another job. But then he says, right, we'll do this job, and then just to get Malcolm out the picture, we'll stitch him up.
Yeah, he's done. Like, we're done with him after this. And I was like, I mean, that's what he wants, really.
It is, but
apart
not
from
in this way.
Not with the armed robbery.
No. So they have this big old birthday party for Malcolm, which actually is quite a cool scene. A little sequence of them like getting ready to go out. Jumbo and Ruby have another argument before they leave, and they're trying to get them to leave, and they go out the door to get to the pub, and they have a little bit of a dance and a game of pool and so, and it all seems pretty fine, doesn't it? There's a couple of little moments of tension, but most parties have that sort of thing, don't they? I mean, just you can tell there's like who's had a little bit too much to drink.
Well, yeah, I mean, all of your parties have that as soon as I arrive. It's really weird. It's strange how I arrive just at that moment when the tension it seems overwhelming as soon as I walk in. It's
the only issue that happens when you show up is that you start putting tape on the Uber driver's car and he doesn't like it.
I mean, if you've got tape, you need to use the tape.
Yeah, but you stole the tape.
Well, no, I mean, someone left the tape unattended and I took it.
Possession is 9/10 of the law. It was in my possession.
We don't know that it was their tape.
Who would leave tape just in a drawer in a bar?
I just left it in your flat.
Oh, yeah, no, that's true. But the whole way through this party, it's almost like a Last Supper thing, because it's all going to go tits up. Like they're planning to like stitch up Malcolm, and at this point he's fully ready to quit. He said, "Look, we'll do this thing on Monday, and then that's it. We're done." So then after the birthday party, you see they go to Skegness. They go and have a day in Skeggy with their kids, who are barely in it actually.
Yeah, they get mentioned a fair bit, but
Yeah.
I guess they're not important to the story.
No. But they have a real nice day in Skegness. Like, they're wandering around the beach with the kids, and they have donuts and stuff like that. They get chatting to the donut owners and stuff. It's all quite nice, but you get the feeling like, oh crap, this is what could have been. You know, had they just got out of their town. So then it comes to the more than the armed robbery, and I can't remember what is it. Malcolm's trying to get everyone to tell him what the signal is for, like, okay, it's time to dust out now, but no one's listening to him. So he's starting even more to be like, oh, this is really not going to end well, is it?
And then does the real smart thing if he's just like, it's just a really loud whistle that you never hear again, because he just fucks off with the van.
That's the proper, the bit of, oh, thank fuck for this, is you realise. So they do this raid. They go into the shop. A bunch of they've all got guns, waving guns in the face of these owners.
I don't think they're guns. I think they're fakes.
Yeah.
Because at some point one of them goes, "This doesn't even look like a gun." It's just like cover it in black tape, or black and yellow tape.
They've had a tip off that there's a load of money in this shop. So then they go in looking for this cash, realise it's not there. While they're all inside, Malcolm just jumps in the van and fucks off with it.
He gets Mad Terry in the van.
He doesn't say anything. Yeah, he's just holding his arm. He's like, "What do you want?"
He just get in the van and he just drives away, and then picks up his family and just runs off to Skeggy.
You realise at that point, because at that point it's sort of intercut with it's Lenny the fence, isn't it? And Jumbo are legging it down the street, and at this point I was thinking, oh no, he's going to catch them outside the house with the van, and now it's really going to go tits up. But then Kate comes out with bags packed. So like, oh god, they planned it. He's planned this getaway. So then they drive off. Lenny leaves Jumbo in the street. Jumbo gets arrested.
Yeah, so I think most of the gang end up in prison.
Yeah, Jumbo,
Lenny gets stabbed by the guy he meets right at the start of the film.
The Cuban chef.
Yeah, just like stab. Yeah. And then
you get a lovely little
Mad
bit
Terry
of
the nanny. That was I was just there like, this is incredible. I love this film so much. Just like, them just like go. It's just they've just gone. Yeah, no, he's a bit mad, but like he's a good driver. And he's just wheeling his baby around the beach.
And the last thing is, Kate and Malcolm, they're running the donut shop down by the beach. It's just a lovely little. Oh, they got out and it's all going all right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But the thing at the end, it's weird because it does really, like, this film reminded me quite strongly of Trainspotting. Just for like the heist fail, the heist and then someone just fucking off in the middle of it. Well, at the end in Trainspotting, but and then just they get to go off and be happy, and everyone else is just shafted.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good point. That didn't occur to me, and I wish it had, because that's actually a really good observation.
Well, I mean, I could have a degree in film. I don't.
Yeah, you could. It's fucking easy.
No, I think you're really overselling it. Like it's like you can pay for it. It's fine.
But no, yeah, I really liked this. Like at the start, I wasn't quite sure. The weird thing is, because it looks so naturalistic, I often forgot that the characters aren't aware that there's a camera there, because it looks like a documentary.
It looks a bit like a vlog, basically, of just people just being like, I am just doing mad shit for this vlog, and it just escalates out of control. Then they're like, yeah, we're doing armed robbery now.
That's a pretty early vlog for 1996.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I wasn't expecting too much.
I was expecting something a lot sort of more in the vein of like something like This Is England, where it's a bit like, oh god, like, this is depressing, but also entertaining. It's like, this thing is weird because This Is England is like, it's entertaining and it's funny in places, but also deeply unsettling.
I am looking forward to watching it. If nothing else, this has really made me want to watch more Shane Meadows films.
Yeah, no, I might actually watch This Is England later on, because I think I have a copy of it.
I see. If I didn't have to get up early, I probably would.
Yeah. No, I mean, This Is I love that film. Like, it's weird because This Is England is like it's like a coming of age story with racism.
Those are two things I can get behind.
Cool. No, I want to watch more of his films as well. I mean, because I've got loads of them.
Well, I was just interested because like he works like with Paddy Considine. I think he's brilliant.
It's weird because he has, like, apart from this, a lot of the actors in a lot of his films are similar. Like, he uses a lot of the same actors in different films.
Yeah.
Which I like. And also, he has a TV show as well. It's This Is England, the continuation.
You just really like This Is England, didn't you?
Yeah, no, I really like it. It's so good. You should watch it.
Okay, by the end of series 1 of Co-Directors, I will have watched This Is England in its entirety. How about that? And
yes, that is a good deal.
If I don't, we don't do a series 2.
No, that's a bad deal for me. Well, I mean, to be fair, next time you're in London or next time I'm down with you, I'll just bring it down and we'll watch it.
Sounds good to me.
That way I can verify that you've watched it.
Yeah. Okay, well, cool. I mean, I hope people go on to watch more of his stuff. Like I've listened to quite a few podcasts that talk about his work quite reverentially and say it's really good. So I will catch up with his other stuff, I think.
Because I mean, yeah, it's not a huge body of work, but like if it's all this good, then that's great.
It's encouraging. Yeah. Alright, wicked. Well, this has been a highly successful inaugural episode of Co-Directors. How do you think it's gone so far?
I mean, you picked a director that I like. I have now liked 100% of the films and TV shows that he has done and that I have watched.
That's true.
So it went really well, and I recorded all of my audio, so I did my bit.
We're now analysing the analysis. Yeah. Okay, well, wicked. This has been fun. Our next episode will be released in 2 weeks' time. So that's the 30th of January, 2019. Oh, yeah, Happy New Year, everybody. I'm sure we'll say that on Co-Pilot when it happens, because it's still in the past for us. Our next episode is going to be focusing on Lynn Ramsey. And her debut film is Ratcatcher, which was from 1999. And I've heard a lot of good things about that. So I'm looking forward to seeing that.
I haven't heard of it.
No, but a copy of it is coming through your letterbox in a couple of days, because I couldn't find it online, so I bought 2 DVDs on eBay, one for me and one for you.
Oh, that's so kind.
Yeah, I am. I'm a delight.
I mean, it's lucky that, otherwise, why are we still doing podcasts?
If you enjoyed any of this bollocks, listen to Co-Pilots. It's really good too.
Yeah. And I mean, to be fair, we've scheduled it so that now, if you listen to both, you can hear a new episode of us every week.
Every blummin' week. What a treat.
Yeah, so we're TV shows to film, TV shows to film, TV shows to film, all year long.
Oh, what a time to be alive and to be a fan of Co. Because we're both
something.
Co-pilots, co-directors, and then next year we'll do like co-authors or co-pilot. Oh no, hang on, we've done that one. Well, co-driver,
co-flights.
we review flights we've been on.
Yeah, we review the first flight of every pilot we've flown with.
Apparently, I heard this on this will date this podcast for keen podcast listeners. That I was listening to Mark Coleman and Simon Mayo the other day, and they were discussing how a lot of pilots are called Nigel.
Do you think that's true, or is it just a lie to save on name badges?
I honestly thought you said, do you think that's relevant in any way?
No. Relevant is not a thing that we worry too much about.
No.
No, I think it's a conspiracy theory to save on name badges.
I think you're probably right. It can't cost more. Let's end this before we get...
No.
Anyway, cheers for listening to the first
No, because they can just
Co-Directors.
recycle the fucking name badges.
Fuck off. Goodbye.
Goodbye.